One of the complaints that I hear clients making at times is that somebody in a law office was rude to them. It could have been the lawyer or a clerk, a secretary, paralegal, anybody. I know you didn't intend to be rude. In fact, nobody in your office intended to be rude. And yet the client had that experience. Let's identify the issue and fix it for once and for all so that no client ever feels that anybody in your office has been rude. Hi, welcome to From Porch Lawyer. I'm Francine, your host. Have you ever stayed at a 5-star resort? If you haven't, I recommend you do. Splurge the $500, $800 a night to stay at one of these really, really amazing hotels. I had the opportunity to stay at the Halekulani, which is a 5-star hotel in Waikiki. It's an understated, elegant hotel, one of the oldest in Waikiki. It's not particularly large like some of the newer hotels and doesn't have one of those winding swimming pools through the forest, but it has impeccable service. And the difference is in the details. Everyone working at the hotel have their eyes and ears open all the time to anticipate every guest's need. When I was there, I never wanted for anything. I never heard anyone say to me, "I don't know." Instead, if they didn't know, they would say something like, "Allow me to check on that for you." Every word, every action was designed to make the guest feel as if she were number one. They got the guest everything that they needed. I felt like I was the only guest there, and at times I felt like I were a queen. The service was so amazing, and they were so solicitous that sometimes I felt guilty about all the service I was getting. Even the housekeeping staff anticipated all my needs. But the nightly rate was very high, but the expectation of the guests were high, and they were met. No one was ever rude. If anyone was rude, they probably would have been fired on the spot. There was never a reason to be rude. Now, would guests become irate at times? Sure, I mean, people are people. But even if a guest were irate, they found a way around it, never to be rude. All this for $500, $800, sometimes $1,000 a night. But what does your client pay you an hour? Not per night, per hour. $500, $400 a night. An hour, not a night. If you get impeccable service for $500 a night, what kind of service should a client expect for $500 an hour? We should take a page out of the 5-star hospitality playbook. I am not suggesting that you assume that your client is right all the time, because they're not. Would it make sense, though, to hear them out, to make sure they felt that they were heard, to make sure that they were respected at all times, even if you disagree with them? Why doesn't this happen? It doesn't happen because lawyers are busy. Their staff are busy. We get busy, and sometimes we just get hurried busy and just get crazy busy and just moving all the time. So when your work gets interrupted, it's annoying. And it can be very disruptive to what it is you're trying to accomplish. But the person calling you or walking in your door, they didn't know that you were just crazy busy a moment before they saw you. So we shouldn't be taking that out on the client. Remember, they're paying your salary. They're the ones paying the 5-star price for a 5-star experience. So here's one thing you can do to be sure that you don't accidentally take it out on the client and end up giving them the impression of rudeness when none of that was ever intended. Before you take the call from the client or have the client brought into your office, slow down and take a really deep breath, maybe 3 of them. Breathe in through the nose, slowly exhale to just get things to slow down. By slowing down and taking that deep breath, you will prevent just reacting in that moment as if you're being interrupted. You're giving yourself the opportunity to reset. So you're ending that hecticness that you were just experiencing, slowing it down so you can prepare to meet your client, whether it's by phone or in person. It's not the client's fault that you are harried, hurried, and relentlessly busy. So be sure never to take it out on them. So remember this, slow down, take a deep breath before speaking to your client, especially if you've been having a really crazy busy day. And I'll see you back here on Front Porch Lawyer.